Michal KRIZO won the Empro Classic this past weekend, and he finally delivered a level of conditioning that puts him in the position where he can really take on anyone in the IFBB today. So in this video we are going to see this best version to date of Michal KRIZO going against a former two-time Mr. Olympia in Big Ramy. I am going to use Ramy's most recent physique from the Arnold Classic. He only took 4th at that show, but many voices, including myself, claim he was overlooked at this show. Front double biceps pose. We have some HD audience footage for KRIZO and some official footage for Ramy, which is not shaky and stuff, but has a significantly worse quality. This is what we have, and I'm happy I even got this, so let's do it. So in spite of the footage, we can still notice that KRIZO's level of conditioning is superior. I don't think Ramy was ever this lean. KRIZO also exposes Ramy's downsized guns, but it's not all rainbows and sunshine for KRIZO. Ramy exposes his lacking lower body in terms of size and fullness, but all in all I think this is a KRIZO pose. The front lat spread is a great pose for both gentlemen. Ramy is already known for having arguably the best front lat spread in the world, but KRIZO means business here. KRIZO's physique looks more fresh, more peeled, and I don't think I've ever seen a better chest than his in this pose. KRIZO looks great. He looks like he's beating this version of Ramy in the front poses, but he really needs to learn how to pose and how to stay locked in a pose without shaking like Paul Dillette. Side chest pose. In spite of being far from his best, Ramy is still pretty unbeatable in this pose in my opinion. Yes, it's mostly his lower body, but not only. On the other hand, KRIZO looks awesome upstairs. Those arms, shoulder, chest combination is deadly in this pose. Once he learns how to pose properly, he will be unbeatable in this pose, but for the moment, I think Ramy has the upper hand right here. Back double biceps, and as far as the upper body is concerned, things are pretty clear. Ramy is not beating anyone with those atrophied lower lats. KRIZO also destroys him in terms of conditioning and details. Same thing lower body for the conditioning and details, but a guy like Big Ramy really exposes KRIZO's lacking lower half. His glutes are obviously undersized, but his entire lower body is undersized compared to his upper body. KRIZO wins the pose, but he still has work to do with this one. Back lat spread, and usually Big Ramy comes back in this other back pose as his back lat is way better than his back double. Truth is that he's got the width over Michal KRIZO, but that's about it. KRIZO has the thickness, the details, the separation, and the conditioning, of course. Side triceps, and again Big Ramy is pretty unbeatable from the side, at least in my opinion. KRIZO has the great arms, but his lateral head is not all that impressive to compensate for the weak lower half, for example. Just like in the other side pose, it's debatable of course, but I'm going with Ramy again. Unfortunately, we don't have the abs and thighs for Michal KRIZO, but he would probably lose to Big Ramy in that pose. That's his weakest pose by far. But he beats Big Ramy in the most muscular fair and square, as I believe he's got the best, most muscular pose in the world today, and arguably, possibly of all time. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but with his size, his arms, shoulders and chest, plus this level of conditioning, I can't think of anyone in the history of bodybuilding beating this. As a conclusion, KRIZO seems to be winning this comparison, and seems to be winning quite easily, I would say. Apart for the side poses where it was close to, and the abs and thighs, which we didn't even see in this comparison, KRIZO wins all poses and wins them clearly. Again, Michal KRIZO needs to master the presentation and the posing, and he's in for the money in my opinion. Like and subscribe. See you next time.